What's going on, everybody? So, as we all know, yesterday was Trumpty Dumpty's 80th birthday, and he decided to celebrate by throwing himself a Make-A-Wish Foundation white trash party on the lawn of the White House with a UFC event. And this was so gross for so many reasons. Like I said, I did not watch this. I was busy watching my boys, the Carolina Hurricanes, win the Stanley Cup for the first time in 20 years. Go Canes. But I did see some of the highlights from this, and I wanted to discuss it because it's just grotesque. So first of all, it goes without saying, the government should not be hosting sporting events on the lawn of the White House. Like, this is completely ridiculous. This is insane. It's very reminiscent of, like, ancient Rome, you know, like the Holy Roman Empire doing the gladiator fights so that they can entertain the emperor. That's what this reminds me of. But the emperor apparently was not all that entertained because he ended up falling asleep again on camera. And I was saying last time, this seems like a thing that's happening on a weekly basis. It actually seems like Trump is falling asleep now on camera on a daily basis. Here, take a look. So there he is, ringside, sitting next to Dana White, and he's falling asleep right in front of the ring. Like, this is your birthday party, pal. You can't even be bothered to stay awake. Just so gross. And for this event, they had a limited number of seats. It was only like 4,300 seats. Now, those tickets, if you wanted to sit ringside, or, you know, like within what they call the claw, right? The actual stadium that they built, it was $1.5 million to get a VIP ticket to actually be that close. They did give away a bunch of like free event tickets, I guess, whatever you call it. It was like 85,000 for people who wanted to go and watch it on the Ellipse. So you get to watch it on a big screen and be kind of close to the fight. But if you wanted to be actually at the fight, $1.5 million. So the only people that are going to this are the uber wealthy right-wing sycophants to Donald Trump. And the event itself cost like $60 million. Now, there's some, I don't know if this is true, whether the UFC actually paid for this or whether the taxpayers paid for it, but $60 million for this event, 4,300 seats, $1.5 million per ticket, so that you can go watch a bunch of sweaty guys beat the crap out of each other to entertain the president, the God King. It's so gross. And we also had one of the fighters, I think his name is Hockett, Josh Hockett. He won his fight, and he decided to grab the mic and you know, just do what MAGA chuds do, which is just blast out there that I am a bigot and I am a transphobe, and we punch down. Here, look, take a look.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
You're on national television and you decide to scream into the microphone, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right? I mean, like, who is this slop for besides just the MAGA mouth breathers? That's all this is for. And they don't have anything to go on. Let's be super clear. They have nothing to go on. What has the Republican Party done since Trump has become president? They haven't given people higher wages. They haven't lowered gas prices. Gas prices are through the roof. The No New Wars president has started wars with God only knows how many countries. We're still at war with Iran. We bombed Venezuela and stole Nicolas Maduro. We're currently doing like a blockade, like an embargo on Cuba, and they're planning to possibly like take over Cuba. We've bombed countless other countries like Somalia and Ethiopia and is it Colombia? It was some other country in South America. I can't even keep it straight anymore. But we haven't raised wages. We haven't given people health care. We have kicked 18 million people off of Medicaid. Insurance premiums have more than doubled for most people. The jobs market is completely anemic. They have nothing They have nothing to go on. So what do? Michelle Obama is a man, am I right? What a fucking clown. What a joke. Now, I did mention in the last video that the UFC middleweight champion, Sean Strickland, was barred from attending this event because he's not sycophantic enough to Trump. And this is super funny to me because, like, I used to despise Sean Strickland based on his policy because he was another one who was, like, a loud and proud Trump thumper, and he would always, you know, like, make comments about DEI and whatnot. But he's recently been more critical of the war in Iran and the Epstein files, and because of that, they barred him from attending this event, but he decided to show up anyway. So here's a video of that. This is actually kind of awesome. Here, take a look.
Allah zabgaba.
Yo, I cannot believe that, bro.
How the fuck y'all gonna lock up the middleweight chick?
Pretty sure I didn't break them all. Like, I'm pretty sure. Might be going to jail.
So the middleweight champion of the world shows up to the biggest event probably in UFC history. I mean, you know, they get to host fights on the lawn of the White House, and he gets carted off by police because they told him, you can't come because you're not, you know, you're not pro-Israel enough, and you're not, you know, a big enough MAGA sycophant. That's actually really funny. Now, some other things that make this event super, super grotesque. One of the sponsors was Polymarket, right? The betting market. And, you know, so people can bet on who's going to win a fight, and you can, you know, win money on Polymarket or whatever. It's not just for fights. It's not just for sports. They do this for literally everything now. Like, what colored tie is Trump going to wear today, and you can place money on it. But this is really gross. So there was a text message thread back and forth between Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, the other idiot, fail son, and one of the fighters, I think his name is Daniel Cormier, and he's asking him if he knows whether any of the fighters are injured, or if there's any kind of angle that he can figure out to where, like, there might be a fight that's thrown, or maybe it's rigged. I'll put up the screenshot right here, but, like, this is the back and forth of him asking the fighter, and he put this up onto Twitter or X or whatever it was, to just show that, like, one of Trump's fail sons is literally asking one of the fighters for insider information so that he can place bets, so that he can make money. These guys are so gross. He's asking, like, hey, do you have any information so that I can place bets so that I can make money off of daddy's birthday party? Disgusting. And then, of course, he gets caught. He gets caught because this screenshot went online, and he immediately goes out there and says, well, this was AI generated slop and blah, blah, blah. And then they had, like, the community note or the fact check. There's like, no, this was not AI generated. Daniel Cormier is the one who actually posted this screenshot to X or whatever. So imagine, like, you've already gotten everything in the world handed to you on a silver platter, right? Trump's sons, they're like Donald Trump. They were born into wealth. They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Trump Jr. and Eric are both deeply, deeply dumb. And but he's trying to figure out a way to, like, oh, can I make money off of daddy's birthday party? Do you know any information about the fighters? Are there any of them injured? I'm trying to find an angle so that I can make even more money off of this. And like I said, if they're selling tickets to this event, and I guarantee you that money is going directly into Donald Trump's pocket, but if they're selling tickets to this event for $1.5 million a piece, and then they're also trying to make money on the back end with, like, insider information so they can place bets, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I don't know if I can handle another 2.5 years of this. It's so gross, but it is predictable. It is predictable. And I think one of the things that, you know, Trump has realized is that, like, there are absolutely zero guardrails and there's nobody that's going to put him in check, because the Supreme Court has already ruled that anything that Trump does as president, as a presidential act, gives him immunity. So if he wants to throw himself a birthday party on the lawn of the White House and dump him a bunch of money into his own pocket by selling tickets for this, and again, the only people who can afford this are people who have $1.5 million laying around. So this is another pay-to-play scheme. Just like the Epstein Memorial Ballroom is a pay-to-play scheme. You donate money to me to build my ballroom, but really what it is, hey, if you have tons of money and you give it to the president to do his little pet project, then he will do favors for you via like your business regulation, tax cuts, things like that. This is just another scheme. This is just another money grab. So this was completely gross. I don't know how many people actually watched it. Like I said, I just watched the clips. I was busy watching the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. Go Canes. But yeah, just a little update. Donnie Boy has a birthday party. He falls asleep and he's making $1.5 million off of every ticket sold to his birthday party. Let that sink in. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit the bell, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.